What up, y'all? I'm back with another review, and I'm here to review the newest studio album from Sadistik entitled Haunted Gardens. Now, I've been familiar with Sadistik since late 2015. I think it was September of 2015 when he dropped Phantom Limbs with No, producer from Cunning Linguist. And my favorite track off that project was The Darkness, which was a real introduction to me. Well, of course, it was an introduction because the EP was, but that track was just a real, it laid the foundation for what I would expect and what I would get from Sadistik with just the kind of beats he would rap over, but also, especially, the wordplay, just how witty his wordplay is, and also his flow. Just very versatile flow, and as far as the wordplay goes, like yeah, just very witty. And then in 2016 we got Solo Sessions. My favorite track off of that was The Waves or Waves. There was another track on there that I really liked, but it's not really coming to mind. Then 2017 we got Altars, which had Free Spirits, one of my favorite tracks off that album. Might be my favorite track off of that album, and one of my favorite songs of 2017. There was also, I remember songs like Kaleidoscope and Honeycomb. Actually, hold on, because see if I can find this. Because there's another track I believe that's Sacrifice. Sacrifice your gods for your God sacrifice you. Really enjoyed that track. Also Water with Christoph Crane. Um, and then 2018 we got Solid Sessions 2, which my favorite track off of that, without question, had to be Heaven's Gate Away Team. And now we're here with 2019 with Haunted Gardens. So this would be my fifth project. Not reviewing, but this would be my fourth project actually reviewing with Sadistik, with my fifth project listening. Yeah, Phantom Limb, Solid Sessions, Altars, Solid Sessions 2, this. So yeah, fifth project, fourth project that I'm reviewing, and at this point, and really by Altars, I knew what to expect. Um, Actually, no, I can't even say that. By Solid Sessions 2 last year, I kind of knew what to expect from Sadistik because I got the EP with No, and then you get an EP in 2016, but then I finally got the album in 2017. So since then, I've really known what to expect from Sadistik as far as like the beats and the flows and the wordplay. But he seems to grow with each album. I don't know how many times an artist can get better with each project because I mean I'm just gonna go ahead and say this now. I feel this project, even though some of my favorites, I have more favorite songs on Altars. I think this project works better as an album, but that's not to take away from Altars at all because that worked great as an album. One of my favorite albums of 2017. This just seems more cohesive for some reason, and I just think it works better as an album. Like I was having a hard time deciding what tracks I wanted to download off of this to keep on my phone. I could just listen to whenever. I mean, I can do that anyway. Listen to it whenever, wherever. But with this, I was like, I just found myself getting lost in the album again and listening to the album through and through. And I was trying to decide which tracks I wanted to download. But we're getting on into 4 minutes. Let's go ahead and get right into this. The first track I want to talk about is, well, I think I talk about I talk about every track. So this is all track review, like most of my reviews are. Starts off with All My Poisons Sit in Frames. Very, he starts the album off the way I would expect. Dark, atmospheric, um, eerie, very just kind of echo, not drony, but echoey vocals, and just a beat that sounds like it wants to transition so bad, but it doesn't. Um, that's probably kind of a weird way to explain it, but that's the best way I can really explain it. Just very dark, depressing, very bleak, and he's never really started a project off like this, even though it's what I would come to expect from him. He still never really started a project off like this from what I can remember. The second track, Eden, which was a single. I'd heard this through OK though, but I would have just followed Sadistik. I wouldn't know when it drops anyway. But still, um, it's a banger that you don't get hyped to. That's how I can describe this. This is a banger that you just slowly die to. Um, I just love his relentless flow, and the beat just meshes perfectly with it. Like it was the perfect complement to it. The next track I want to talk about is 8 1/2. What stood out to me is when um, he was talking about his girlfriend in this, and he said like she always sees the best in me. I focus on the worst in her. And another quote from this was, "One day I told my gods I dug a grave that they'd be perfect for, and now all I taste is chlorine. Everything is boring. Insects singing for me, morphing from the morphine. Fuck, freaking. That's what I'm talking about. Just lyrics like that and wordplay like that, just perfect. Then we get into this fourth track, "Burning Lakes." It's a banger like Eden, but I like it more if I'm being honest. And the music video is so perfect. It just so perfect. Him being in this cold, this looks like Saskatchewan, maybe Saskatchewan, the dead winter, with walking his dog and setting like a limb on fire, and him with this smile on his face that it was just the freaking sadistic man. That's just the sadist. And what did he say? I live and die every day. I'm so versatile. Like I just I just love Sadistic's music, man. That's all I can say. The next track, Daisies, is a track that grew on me from the first couple of listens because I wasn't really feeling it like that. I mean, I liked it, but I wasn't feeling it like that. But then it just clicked. What did he say? No matter where I go, I know I'll see the same patterns. Every single room's the same. Some just rearranged better. And he talks about how drugs and sobriety are overrated and how what's this? The noose is tied around me. Wait, noose is tied around me. I'm dying every second I'm alive. Reminding me I'm dying every second I'm alive. Sometimes I just can't read my own handwriting. But but yeah, like I said, you grew on me from the first listen, and I'm glad because that really made these first 6 tracks really just well, every project fits. I mean, every song fits, but these first 6 really stood out to me. Track number 6, Man's Best Friend. What did he say? Fault lines all in. Oh, fault lines all in on my face. All increasing on my face. Not all increasing on my face. Fault lines all increasing on my face. And I just absolutely love the second half of this song because the way the beat transitions, it's so fantastic, and his flow on that, and just that in the background you get that and said everybody running from the waves that were made of tracing the vapors to praise other saviors. Fuck. Fuck me, man. I swear. Track number 7, Alcoves. Um, to get this acoustic guitar in on here with the chilly, atmospheric, melancholy beat, I was just like, yes, fantastic. Then you get track number 8, which follows the album's theme. The track is entitled Coals. Track number 9, Sistine Chapel. This was for the lady in his life, which I was able to see her when he had a live stream. I believe it was the Friday night, the night April 19th, the night before the album dropped, because it was April 20th, I believe, when the album dropped. And I was watching some of the live stream, um, and some people had already heard the album. I don't know if he played the album for them on the live stream, um, but yeah. So I was listening that night and I got to see her, and he was just talking about how he sees the God in her, and I was getting 2 things from that. I'm gonna assume that he was talking about he's getting the God that religion promises. I mean, he sees the God in her that religion promises, and that people or would like to see, would like to believe that how God is. I'm just assuming that, but at the same time, I was also thinking, is he saying it'd be fucked up is pretty much what I'm trying to say. It'd be fucked up if he was saying that I see the God in you, but like I was wondering like what if he meant I see the bad part or the part that drives people away from religion. I see that God in you. But I'm just gonna go with he's seeing the God in her that everybody or most people would like to believe in. Track number 10, Gallows Hill. Perfect title for this track because, in the perfect complementing beat, because with this track being on, I envision being somewhere on a hill or on a gloomy day overlooking some pond or river or just body of water. Voice kind of cracked there, sorry. Then the next track, which is, I like how this was entitled Koi, but it doesn't, um, just having that, like I said with Gallows Hill, I imagine being over like a body on a hill overlooking a body of water. This next track is called Koi, but it's not um, relating to that or what I was picturing, like being a koi and a body of water. This is about his father, who passed. I don't know when his father passed, but I've known about him dealing with his father's passing since I remember him talking about it on Solid Sessions 2 last year, but in 2017, I forget. And I don't remember in 2015 and 2016, but in 2017 with Altars, I don't remember him talking about that. But I've known about his father passing and how it has an effect on him. Not exactly what. I'm sure it's terrible, but I know that it at least has an effect on him. That's why he mentions his father. And with that, I'm not sure if it was recently in 2017 or before then, because like I said, I don't remember in 2015 or 2016 with those projects on the EPs hearing anything about it. But yeah, this is for his father, who Sadistik feels like his father is still there, and he sees his father when he looks at himself in the mirror, and I think he said like it hurts him, it kind of haunts him. Even though his father was a good father, it hurts to see him because he wishes he was there, even though he's still there to him. And he talked about how his father gave him wisdom and taught him lessons that he hopes to learn. That he's still trying to learn the lessons that he tried to teach him, and the promises that he made to him about how life is or how the world works. Um, and just he just gave him something to idolize, and he's saying like he'll never be forgotten because he'll just live through him. So that was a very touching track. I'm sure that track meant a lot to him, and that track means a lot to me, just because how I view my dad and the fact that he's still alive. So I can't imagine what it must feel like to. I can't imagine what it must feel like um, to first to just know your father and then lose him. I just can't imagine what that's like. Um, Track number 12, Saints. Um, it's the perfect almost ending for this project. It was a single to promote this project as well, and it picks up where the first half of the project left off. If you ask me, what would he say? None of us are saints, but some of us are. You love the paint, but the colors will change. Um, and he said something after that, but just that in particular stood out to me. Also the beat as well, of course. And track number 13, the last track on here, From the Gossamer. Back with that acoustic again. And to have it on the ending track, I really enjoyed that. And the way what I'm picking up from this is that he's saying, well, he said like we weren't meant for a normal life, and those are like the perfect final words to end off a project like this, and to really just for now close this chapter of Sadistik's discography, at least for me. I need to go back and listen to Ultraviolet. I don't know why I haven't, in projects before that. I don't know why I haven't since coming across Phantom Limbs, but yeah, like just those are the perfect closing words to end this chapter in his discography, and at least where I'm at in his discography, because I went into this album like this is the next chapter. This is the next chapter in this story, because I was listening to this project like as a story, thinking about how far come since Phantom Limbs to Solid Sessions to Altars to Solid Sessions 2, and now this. I was listening to this um, for the album, but at the same time thinking about how he's progressed since 2015 with the EP with No. And so yeah, I was just listening to the album as a story, but just the chapter of this 5 chapter story so far, which it would become 6 soon. Once I go back and listen in 7, once I listen to other projects, and then I'm sure we'll get more music, maybe another EP, maybe I'm not sure, but maybe soon, maybe this year, maybe in 2020, because ever since I've been listening to Sadistik, he hasn't had a year where he didn't drop something. So yeah, but that's just how I listened to this project. I was listening to it as the next chapter, or just well, yeah, the next chapter, but not the final chapter. Even though we weren't meant for no more life are the perfect closing final words for this chapter. Um, so like I said, I think this works better as an album than Altars did, even though Altars has some of my favorite um, the tracks that I like more on that project. But I gave this album the rating I would give this album is a 7.25 to a 7.5. If you've heard this project, let me know what you think about it in the comment section below and what you think about my review on it. If you haven't heard this project, I definitely recommend that you check it out. I'll leave the link to it in the description so you can check it out. And definitely buy this if you're feeling it. Just support Sadistik, man. He even talked about in the live stream, like it's because of us, the people who listen and buy his music, which is why he's able to even do this in the first place. So definitely support this. And be sure to hit the like button if you like this review. Share the review. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and like the content that you see. I'd really appreciate it. I said share the review. Yeah, I said share. Check the description because not only will the link to this album be in there, but also my links to my social medias, my PSN, and one more thing that I'm forgetting at the moment. But that is pretty much it. Thank y'all for watching. Oh, and if, like I said, if you haven't heard this project, if you do check it out, come back and let me know what you think about it and what you think about my review on it. And that's pretty much it. Thank y'all for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Oh, and this will go up on okaythough.com. I'll probably do a written review for it as well. And if I can get it, um, I'll have it on Kazi Magazine. I contribute for them now. So I'm at least going to do a written review for them as well. So, till next time, I'll see y'all next time.